Welcome everybody to our HEAT team call. I'm excited to do this call tonight because I'm going to put everybody on mute. Hang on one second. Mute all. There we go. We're going to go. So first of all, to give just a little bit of perspective and history, last May, is that correct, Chris, if you're listening?
March.
Good, so you can keep me in line. A year ago, March, that's what I'm talking about. We all went to Dallas. All the national marketing directors and above were invited to go to Dallas to hear proposals of what a new marketing plan could look like. And they got our input. We talked a lot. It was amazing to have all of us together in one room, being so honored by the company, because what they asked us to do in complete trust is to stay silent, not to tell anybody what was coming, because there might be tweaks, it might be changes, and we didn't want to confuse people. And I think the national marketing directors did a really great job of honoring that trust. And then in January, the new marketing plan for everybody was unfolded. And for those of you that, I'll just explain what it is now, which is so much easier. Now, our dollars, for example, if we look at a quad, which is $420, divided.
Chris is raising his hand.
Chris?
Yeah, thank you. I just want to point out how incredible that was. What the company did is that they were not going to roll out something without talking it over with us and wanting our input, flown in, all expenses paid, to listen to that weekend of them including us. And I just think that's significant. I want to say it, Nick.
Yeah, it is significant. That's why I like to be in the same room with you when we do this, so we can nudge each other and look like we're just kind of rolling with it, right? Instead of somebody else going, look, he's raising his hand. Look, he's raising his hand. All right. So that's okay. He'll stay with me on this. So they put our trust in, and in January, they rolled out the new plan, and it became quite simple. For those of you that don't really understand the marketing plan, our dollars spent on our products is the same as our points. It didn't used to be that way. And it was a crazy system of figuring out points and dollars and percentages. And they kept it very, very simple. A quad, for example, is 420 points. Super easy. 10% retail profit. I don't even have to look at a chart to figure it out. $42 retail profit. And then each movement up the ladder is 5%. It used to be 6, 8, and 8. So for those of you that are new, don't need to know the old plan, but for those of us that have been around for a while, this plan was quite simple. But what really is even more remarkable than them putting together a global system that would work for everybody, which they didn't have before, which really kept us in the loop and was so much easier to work with people in other countries. 2 weeks ago on a Tuesday, they made more changes. And you might ask why. They took a year to put together the first major change, and then all of a sudden from January to July, they're making a second change. And the reason they did that is they were listening to us in the field. How could they support us better? How could they make it easier to get to each position? So they've made some really fabulous shifts. In the general marketing plan, by the way, is exactly the same. The structure is you still get 10% retail sales profit. That hasn't changed. You still get 5% and 5 and 5 for your wholesale commissions. All of that general plan about the marketing plan has not changed. But what has changed is getting to positions are easier. So we're going to go over that. Hey, Melissa. Welcome, welcome. I'm not seeing all the faces here, so I should probably switch pages to take a quick look to see who else is here. Hey, everybody. So just to get back to, hey, Alita, that was a perfect wave because I just saw you. So anyway, so the idea here is to go over some of those changes and show you why you may be closer than you think to the next position. And so, for example, Patty, we're just seeing her name. She did just have knee surgery, so she's probably reclining in her chair and is not going to let us see her face right this second. But she is literally a nanosecond away from QNMD because of the changes. And many of you are just a teeny bit away from QSSC, and SSC are top management positions for those of you that are new. So once again, I want to put a little bit of this into context for new people. If you don't understand any of this, guess what? totally okay. Totally okay. I was just talking with one of our distributors today who had not gotten a lot of training in the numbers. And I said, we're going to treat you like you're absolutely new. And what I tell every new person, it usually takes about 10 times to begin to understand the marketing plan. Anybody like feel like that's totally true? Does anybody agree that sometimes it takes 50 times to understand the marketing plan? And I love it. Alita, God bless you. You know, she's national marketing director. Her and I work so closely together. And she wasn't a perfect numbers gal. You know, it just kept kind of rolling by her. And guess what? She understands it now, guys. She does. But there was a period of time, and we're all at different rates in understanding numbers and how they go together. So please don't get frustrated on this call and give up. Just go with the flow a little bit and see what comes for you. So I'm going to do a screen share here. So hang on one second. So is there any quick questions before we start? And if you do, unmute yourself because I've muted everybody. Okay, cool. All right, and I see there's some chats going on. I guess I need to pay attention to that a little bit also. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna screen share. I've learned a new way to screen share, which unfortunately lets you see that I'm a mess on my computer. Here we go. And I'm gonna get this full here. Hang on once. Are we recording? I don't think I pressed record. Hang on one second.
No, you did. We're recording.
Yay, thank
Yep,
you.
you did.
Right, okay, thank you, perfect. Takes a team, everybody. And let me just start this slideshow here. Sorry, guys, it's gonna take me one really quick second.
Takes a village.
It takes way more than a village. Oh, what do we got? Slideshow, and why is it not starting? Let's see, slideshow. Oh, why? Huh. Oh, you know, yeah. Why is it not starting? Hang on one second. This doesn't
We can
happen.
see your compensation plan, hon.
I know, but I want to do it as a slideshow, Chris, so it looks larger and it's easier to see. And for whatever reason, slideshow.
Present a few or press play right here in the green one. Little green
Here?
circle, yeah.
Got it. Thank you. See how perfect that was. All right. So compensation plan, simplification. This is phase one. And let's just move forward. We're going to go on with phase one right now. So first of all, hang on one second. This looks right.
Can
Okay.
I say something, Nick?
Yeah.
I think it's important to for the new people to understand that going into January, the motto was simplification, because simplification creates acceleration. And have we not seen that in the last 6 months?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, for those of you that are new, in terms of the simplification and what's happened, a combination of that and what's happened just in general in where we are right now is the fact that in March, the company had the biggest month they ever had in 50 years. Chris and I did as well in 30 years. And we continue to stay at that level. And in June, we had another bigger month than we did in March. And I really do think it's because of the simplification, and it's easy to talk to people about how to share and do our business. So just a few simple things that I want to point to. For those of you that are not getting near these positions, this may not be quite as important, but when does this new thing begin? It all begins with July business. So if you're going anywhere between qualified senior sales coordinator and qualified national marketing director, your 2 months could be June and July. That would, in other words, you could use June and July, as long as July is part of the month that you're using to get to your next position. All of these titles are going to work for you. Okay. So, and then in July, Partner Plus, taking either 10 or 30 days, anytime in July, this new plan would affect you. So for example, some of you may have met and saw already that Carrie has a brand new rep, Albert, partner, which we've had lots of fun with, and I'm really looking forward to the next steps with you, Albert. In less than 10 days, he did make Partner Plus, which means that he qualifies to get that larger bonus reward for qualified sales or for Partner Plus. So we're going to talk about what these awards are in 1 second. Okay, so just really quickly, I'm not going to go through our marketing plan tonight. What I am going to do is just remind everybody, because I think this is important, that we do have 5 ways to create income. We have it through title rewards, which means that when you get to a title, you get a reward. We have it through benefits and incentives, which start at the qualified senior sales coordinator position. It's called a BIB, a business incentive bonus. As national marketing directors, we can get this extra $3,000 a month added onto our check every month. And we don't need to go through the details of that, but just understanding that there are 5 ways to create income. And then there are bonuses along the way. There are commissions along the way and sales profit. So those are the 5 ways. And there is a video that you can watch that will be put back on the Freedom Revolution as soon as they complete it to match some of these changes that are happening right now. So we're going to move on. So this is where I want to really begin so that you can see some, is this like right in the middle of that? Yeah. So you can see a little bit about what's happening. So number 1, it's still $52 to become a partner. You're going to get a couple of websites for that. And we're not going to go through all of the positions. We're mostly going to look at the changes and those things that have stayed the same in terms of structure and getting to position. Partner Plus has made a change. And that is if you do the Partner Plus, which is 1,000 points, 2 customers, you're 1, and you have at least 1 other customer. If you do that in 30 days, you get a $50 bonus, but they have added an express track to that. If you get it done in 10 days, you'll get a $100 title reward, and you'll get a live conference ticket, which we really hope we're going to have a live conference somewhere in the near future, keeping our fingers crossed. You're obviously going to make your regular sales profit, and you'll have your 5% commission. So the only thing that's changed is they've added the express track to the Partner Plus. The next place to look is from Partner Plus, your next position that you're going to is qualifying sales coordinator. So for qualifying sales coordinator, you have 60 days to get there from the placement of your first order. That was the same for Partner Plus. From the day that you place your first order, you had 30 days to get there, or you could do it in 10. For qualified sales coordinator, you have 60 days from the day of your first order. And for that, you're going to get a $300 bonus. And your sponsor, the person that helped you the most to get there, is also going to get a $300 bonus. But more. Hang on 1 second. I think, make sure everybody, can you all please make sure that you're muted out? But what has changed is they've added the express track, which means that if you do the qualified sales coordinator in 30 days, you now can get a $400 bonus, and your sponsor who has helped you get there can also get that $400 bonus. Do it in 60 days, you get the $300 title reward. Okay, so that's new. That extra $100 is absolutely new. And then finally, we're coming back to that. When you get to sales coordinator, this is really cool. Hopefully some of you know this, but 3 weeks ago, you needed a volume of 12,000 points to get to sales coordinator. It's now decreased to 10,000 points. Okay, that's pretty exciting. And you can express track in 90 days. They give you 6 months from your first order. And if you do it in 6 months, you get $600, and so does your sponsor. But now, if you do it in 30 days, you'd get a $700 title reward. Okay? So I'm going to stop there for 1 second. Yep.
6 months for 600. And then you said 30 days. I think you meant 90 days.
90 days. Yes, 90 days for 700. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay? So
yep.
if anybody has a question, just unmute yourself and ask it. And if you're talking, we can't hear you. Just want to make sure.
I have a question.
Okay, you get to say it.
So you sponsor somebody and they they do their Partner Plus in 10 days. Now you get $100. They get 100. I can't remember. Do you get 100 then?
No, you don't get any sponsor type of rewards for Partner Plus, just for QSC and Sales Coordinator.
Okay. And at QSC, they do it in 30 days instead of 60. They get 400, then you do get 400,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And Sales Coordinator, if they do it instead of
6 months.
6 months, they do it in 90 days, 3 months, it goes to 700, and so does the sponsor get the 700, right?
That's right.
Okay. I just want to express something.
Chris, hang on 1 second. If you're going to add up what you're going to earn here, I've got a slide, the next one that's going to do it, but if it's something different, go for it.
Yeah, let me go for it. And maybe after the slide would have been good too, but just as a reminder to people, basically we are paid storytellers. And if you find somebody that wants to run with this, and you know, maybe Albert's a great example, but it doesn't matter. But that creates a great story. You create a story where, you know, you got $100 in your first month, you got another 400 before the end of the month, and then before your first 90 days, you got another 700. That's a good story. So I just want you all to understand that when you create a story like that, all it does is attract more people. That's all.
And what you're doing, if you want to look at it another way, it's not just about the money that you gain. Each time you go up in a position, it means that you and your team have impacted more people. So if that's what's closest to your heart and your desire is to impact as many people as possible, following this marketing plan does both. It allows you to impact more people. It allows you to create more income for your family to impact your family.
Excellent.
Okay.
Nikki, it's Caprice.
Yes.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
So what if you have team members who maybe just surpassed their 3 months and they are QSCs? Can they restart to get that bonus?
Yeah, we're going to talk about that, Caprice.
Okay.
That's great. So this is amazing also about our company. We have redos. Like they have redos, do-overs. Remember when you were a kid and you played in school and you had do-overs? You have do-overs with this company. Okay. So we went through this one. And then, so let's just learn what kind of bonuses are possible here. And we like to think of this as wash, rinse, repeat. Make your list of people you're going to contact, invite them, follow up, give them a good start, and teach them to do the same. And you do the same again. Put your list together, talk to people, invite and share what we are up to, get them off to a good start, and teach them to do the same. So here's just a little example of what your earnings would look like as a Partner Plus. You could either be making $100 or $50 for your title reward. You're going to get an additional 5%. And now, as a Partner Plus, you're going to make $45 on a trio instead of $30. If we look at QSC, your bonus could be $300 or $400. You now got a raise of 10%, and now you make $60 on that trio. Again, $30 is 10% of 300. The $15 is 5% of 300. When you move up a level, you still get your 10% of your retail sales profit, which is still $30, but you get an additional 10% commission of $60, totaling $60. And finally, sales coordinator, where you get to add in 15%, and now you're earning $75 on that trio. What I can tell you is it's the same amount of work to be a partner and share the trio with somebody as it is to be a sales coordinator. It's just more dollars in your pocket. So I like to think about the idea of not leaving money on the table. What if you got to that sales coordinator position so you could be at the maximum commission earning spot? Okay. And if you do your fast track to QSC, you'll be earning $2,000. But if you do to sales coordinator. If you do the fast track all the way to sales coordinator, you will be earning additional to what you actually earn on the product. You'll be making $2,000, and if you express track, it's $2,450. Okay, any questions? I know it's a lot. And so just sit with it. Just understand that the faster you move, the more impact you make and the more quickly you make it to people. And you are able to teach your people. So if you've gotten to qualifying sales coordinator, do you think you could teach somebody to do the same thing you just did? You're now qualified to teach at that level that you've reached. Okay? Making sense? Good.
Yeah.
Cool.
One thing,
Yes.
write this down, everybody. Write this down. The speed of the leader sets the pace for the pack.
Good one. Thank
The
you,
speed
Chris.
of the leader sets the pace for the pack. Thanks.
Okay, great. So basically, everything I've just said is summed up here. The sponsor rewards continue as we help you to help others, fast track to QSC and SC titles, and then moving on from there. Okay, now there's a couple of small teaching moments, and I'm not going to, again, go into a lot of detail about this, but this slide is not going to only be available on this recording, but it's also in the phase 1 of the Freedom Revolution. So you've got most of these slides that you're seeing here tonight. A lot of them are already in the Freedom Revolution. I'm just going over them with you. But I really love this example right here because it shows you how you can easily is not the right word, how you can create in a simple way, because it depends on your contacts, you're willing to work. It's more difficult for some and easier for others. So that's why I took that word away. I don't want to exaggerate anything, but how to create an extra $500 a month using the trios. And it tells you exactly the numbers that you need to do and what you need to do to get there. So just know that that's there in the Freedom Revolution in phase 1. If there's anybody that doesn't know how to find that, let's make sure that you know by the end of the call. We'll take some questions. If you have some questions and you feel like it's something that we can answer at the end of the call, let's all stay on after the call is done and I'll answer some questions. Now here's your answer for you, Caprice, about restarting. So let's say you started your business on July 1st and you have 60 days to fast track to QSC. That's 4,000 points and a minimum of 7 customers. So at the end of, you started June 1st or whatever day, you went July, August 1st, you didn't hit it. That was the end of your 60 days. And now it's like, oh gosh, I missed it. Guess what? You can do a do-over, but your do-over is no longer dependent on the date of your first order or any order. It then becomes the calendar month. So let's say you had tried to make it June, July, and it didn't work. No problem. You can start over July 1st, go through all of July and all of August. And so by September 1st, now you need to do it. And if you are starting now July 1st, all your points from June drop off. And it's 2 calendar months that gets you there. I'm going to stop right now and take questions. So unmute yourself if you have a question.
Oh, I have a question, Salita.
Good.
So wouldn't it be wonderful to be able to look at your genealogy report and see when your 5 orders are due to ship again, if you want to start it, you want to do a do-over to fast track to SC?
So what, and that's right here, that's the next point I was going to cover, Alita. So what Alita's talking about is, let's just say you did start your business in June, and by August, you still haven't made it. You're starting over again in September, but in September, a lot of reshipments of the few people that you did get started occurs. You get to count all the points that happen in any month, any 2 month that you are going for a position. You get to count the reshipments of past customers, which is really amazing. And there is a report that shows you what that is so that you can look ahead and go, oh my gosh, I've got 5 orders reshipping in August. I'm going to make sure this happens August and September because I can use all those 5 orders. Okay. The only thing on the restart, Caprice, that you don't get to do is the express. There's no express track. You get the full 60 days, and it doesn't matter if on the second time around you do it in 30 days. It's still going to be the fast track with a $300 bonus for you and a $300 bonus for your sponsor. Okay.
Okay, so if someone, let's say their first 60-day window ended July 15th.
Okay.
they can then start on the 1st of any future month they choose.
They could even start on July 1st and go all of July and all of August.
Right,
It
right.
includes everything from June.
Okay.
I mean, yes, yeah. Okay,
Okay.
great. All right, so we're gonna move on. And so now we're gonna talk.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yeah,
So if someone is like, didn't hit it by the let's say the 20th of the month, or is it better to like say, okay, either let's start, if this month wasn't all that great, let's just go ahead and wait. Don't put in any more orders until August 1st, or wait.
I would never encourage anybody to hold orders, because the whole thought is we want to get people started as soon as possible. So what I would do in that case, let's just say their end date really was, Kristen, June 20th or July 20th, and they didn't make it July 20th. And that means they want to continue to see if they can make it. They can go back and in their own minds think, I'm going to go all of July and all of August. If it doesn't work, they can go all of August and all of September. So I would never hold orders for my customers, if that helps answer that, because we always want to do best for people. And the best thing that you can do for people is getting them started as quickly as possible on Juice Plus.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, well, kind of like if they have no points until the 25th of the month.
Yeah, that might be a little bit different, and that we can talk about that in individual cases.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So I do have a quick question to add on with that. Okay, so you were saying that they don't have to wait until the next month. You can even start them if they didn't make it July 20th. They can start over from July 1st and go. So now let me ask you this question. Obviously you were using June's points and July's points. Does just June drop off and you get to use July?
Yes.
Oh, that makes more sense then.
Okay.
If you maybe didn't have a great month in June, that can go away, but you keep your July points.
Exactly.
Okay, I got it.
That's that mindset of positivity, Lisa. That was great. All right, so let's look at phase 2 then. Again, the same 5 ways to create income, and the leadership track and title rewards are the same. So for example, if you were to become a national marketing director, your bonus is $10,000. That has not changed. You still get $10,000. It's just easier to get there. And if you're going for qualifying national marketing director, Patty, we're rooting for you. You're still going to get that $5,000. It's just easier to get there. Okay. So we're going to move on. And again, everything is the same. The price and the earning guides, nothing has changed. Everything is the same there. You don't have to panic about any of that. Go. And that's interesting. I don't know what happened. Here is the ways to qualify. And I can't, because there's stuff at the top, interestingly enough, I can't see what's under. Maybe I can move this. This guy, this is where, all right. So performance bonus, this is a discussion on performance bonus, which you can get if you are a qualified sales coordinator or above, and really nothing has changed there. So we're not going to go through anything there. It's exactly the same. For those of you that didn't understand it before, you don't have to worry about it being changing. You can go back and just still learn it again. For those of you that are new, qualifying your business is the gateway to our business. It's a 3% performance bonus, which is, I don't know, 98% of our check. Chris, would you say it's something like that? So that 3%, which sounds really small, is really a big number when you have a large team. And you want to make sure you understand how to qualify. So, again, all right, no comment. We're good. We're good to go. All right. Next. Come on. And it's the same for I don't want to stop. It's so hard. This is so interesting how to move this thing around. Oh, promote out bonus is for sales coordinators and above, and that has stayed the same. But there's some good news about performance bonus and POB. Again, for those of you that never heard this, it's not going to make much difference. But for those of you that thought about it, the points that were going to be necessary to qualify your business to get the extra 3% was going to be $2,000, 2,000 points. They decided that there would be a transition period of 2020 for new people to build up to that, and they changed the requirements to 1,800. It was the same for POB. The new qualification for POB was going to be 6,000, but for 2020, they were going to make it 5,400. They have extended those lower numbers through 2021. So we don't have to be thinking in 2021 that the numbers have changed. They're going to be the same. Okay, any questions? And if you don't know what POB is, it's okay. We're not going to go over that now. I like to say that you learn what you need to learn at the time that you hit that position. So POB is not relevant until you're sales coordinator. Okay, I'm alone out here on this marketing plan desert. I got to put it back so I can see more people. Yay. Okay. So let's talk about some things that are the same and some things that are different here. Performance bonus. Now I need my glasses. Oh, those are the things I already said. 1,800 and 5,400, no longer 2,000 and 6,000. That's really cool. Now here's something that has changed. And again, for you new people, you may not totally understand this, but in certain positions that you go for, you are required to have a certain amount of active team members underneath you. And it used to be that an active team member had 225 points and at least 3 customers. They've eliminated how many customers are involved in that 225 points. An active team member is now somebody who has 225 points. That's it. They're not looking for how many customers they have. That makes it a lot easier, especially if it's a lot. Yes, Lisa, if you have a large family that have a lot of product, you know, it's all going to the same household, they can be your active team member because that's what they're purchasing each month for their large family. Okay. So, and then incremental title awards. This is kind of cool. If your bonus to, for example, for National Marketing Director, if you're supposed to get a $10,000 title reward for National Marketing Director, let me see if I can see one that actually spells it out. Hang on one second. Let me get to the next page. I think it'll explain it more clearly. And then one thing that's it's very detailed, people, but maybe if you hear it now, it will ring a bell a couple months down the road when you hear it again. And that is, some of you say, can I sign up my spouse and have them count to help me make my next position? And the answer is basically no. It says a secondary spouse spot. The top position must be a higher title and fully title compliant. So let's say you have a sales coordinator at the top of the position and they're completely compliant. And then their spouse comes in and their spouse gets to QSC. That QSC spouse can get title rewards only if their sponsor, their spouse, was totally compliant before that happened. In other words, they can't use them to get to the position and also get a title reward. And I know that's like really sticky, and for those of you that are new, let that one go for a while. We will guide you through that, okay? But it's good to hear at least once, it really is. And so, oh, this is such a good one for you that know this. So in the past, in getting to your next position, you were not allowed to use excess PVC. How many remember that? You had to have, yeah, you can use excess PVC. So if you need a partner to reach to keep qualified for you to get to your next position, your partner can now use their excess PVC to help get them qualified and help you get to their next position, which is really important in the marketing plan. And for those of you that don't understand it, it's okay. But I cannot tell you how many times we've looked at somebody and they thought a partner of theirs was going to qualify, which would help them reach the next position, and they only qualified with excess and it didn't get to count. So they've made it way easier, okay? So for every leadership position, you will always need one fast track QSC frontline. That has not changed except for NMD and above. But for every other, if you're advancing to the next position in whatever period of time you're advancing, for example, if you're going for QSC, if you're going for sales coordinator, in the 6 months in which you're going to sales coordinator, you have to have a new qualified sales coordinator direct to you. If you're going for QSSC, you need to have a new QSC direct to you. Again, all of you hearing these crazy letters and the insanity of it all, I promise you, we will guide you through all this. But this is really important for some of you who are striving for your next position to understand it. So,
Can I ask a question?
yes.
So if I'm going for QSSC, if I have someone who did qualify at one point a few months ago, and she just fell a little bit out of qualification. So you're saying she can, if that's all I needed, which it's not, but if that's all I needed to get to that next step, if she had excess, that could count as long as the excess made it to the 1,800?
Yep.
But that has to last for 2 months, or?
That's true.
So you have to hold that for.
So she would have to be, well, we would have to look at that rule. Does she need to be qualified both months? Some positions, yes, and some positions, no. But whatever it is, Jen, she would be able to use her excess. So let's pretend she does it 1 month, but it says she has to be in PB 2 months and she used up all of her excess, then it wouldn't count. So it depends on the position you're going for to read the worksheet. That's why these worksheets are so incredibly important. So here's another thing.
Thank you.
Yeah, another thing that they've changed is they used to say that you could only have one leg that had 50%. If a leg had 50% or more, then you couldn't count all of their points. But now they've upped it to 60%. So somebody that has what we call a runaway line, and they've got way more points than anybody else, it's now they've made it a little bit easier, and you can actually use 60% of their points. I know for some of you that this isn't going to make sense, but when you get to the next positions, if you come back and watch this video, you're going to go, oh yeah, I get what I need to do. Okay?
Nikki, I have a couple questions people are fielding.
Yeah, good.
Okay, well, one is, okay, if you're going for SC and you have a QSC, but the QSC is really in second position because their sponsor is really just somebody who just bought it for their own family, they're not allowed to count that?
No,
I mean,
you can count that for structure, but you need one QSC that's new direct to you during the process. You can count a QSC if that's the line that you need that helps you get there, that's already existing, that's 3 people down for you. But you still need one QSC to you front line that you've promoted out, a new QSC. It has nothing to do with the other structure.
so what I'm, we all have people like that fall out and they just kind of do it here and there.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you're basically working with somebody down from them.
Mm-hmm.
So basically they're not accepting anybody that is the one that's truly building the business as that front line, because you're working with that person directly.
You can count the QSC 3 down from you, Alita. If you need a QSC line that's qualifying and it's not front line to you, you get to count it. You still need one new QSC front line to you that you've recruited and promoted out. They want to see that you are continuing to build.
Okay.
2 separate issues.
Yeah, but in a lot of cases, you'll get somebody and then they won't do anything, and somebody else they get will do something. So
won't count for your new QSC frontline. Got to be
okay.
frontline.
So we have to have a brand new express track. Well, if somebody restarts as of the 1st of the month, you still have to have that express track.
It could
QSC.
it could be fast. They could be a fast track. They could be a restart fast track frontline to you, Alita, and it would be counting as your new QSC.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody going to a new position must have somebody that they've personally worked with frontline that gets to be QSC during that time period they're going for their position.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And what I really love is, again, you need 2 active team members, not 4. So 4 weeks ago, you needed, sorry, I went back. Sorry, this thing is in my way. You needed, for qualifying senior sales coordinator, you needed 4 active team members in the lines that we required. They've now reduced it to 2 active team members. So they've really made it much easier than you think. And if you're wondering how to do this, all you need to do is pull up your worksheet and fill it out. Put the names in each spot that fit the questions they ask, and you'll understand what to do, or do it with your upline. Okay, so this is, and we're almost done here. This is qualifying national marketing director. Before, they said you needed 3 active team lines with 8 active people in it, and now you only need 4 active people. They've really made it so much easier. It used to be 1 QSC, 1 SC, and 2 QSSCs to get to QNMD, but it isn't that anymore. It's only, where is it now? You need 3 sales coordinators. That's it. You don't need the QSSCs anymore. So they've really made it easier to get there. All right? And I know this is a lot, but for those of you that understand the marketing plan, this is going to make sense. And also, if you use the worksheets that you fill out for this, it really smooths everything out. Hey, Lisa Bartlett, because we just did your strategy with your worksheet. Can you just tell us what that did for you using that worksheet?
So we didn't go over it yet.
Oh, we're doing that
We're doing it
tomorrow.
I did start filling it out though, and it makes it so much easier. I have a lot of questions, so
Okay.
be prepared for tomorrow. But
That's okay.
but it does the questions are pretty straightforward.
Right.
It's just what to do with them.
Okay, Kristen, what about you? What did it do for you? We did do yours today.
Yeah, we did do mine today, and
Okay.
yeah, it just, you know, it filled in the blanks. It let me know what my next step is, who I need to go talk to on my team, and then to see who wants to come run with me, and then who you know, what I need to do to keep prospecting. And so you kind of, you know, working a little bit of two different things, continuing to prospect and look for new people while I go back and maybe find, I learned how to read my, what are they called? Performance?
Your PVC report, your PVC
I
report.
learned how to read I've only been in the company for 3 years. So, you know, you can teach an old dog new tricks, I guess. But I learned how to read that enough to at least know who's active enough to even approach, to even go out and try to see if they want to come.
Right.
If
And
they want to come work. Yeah.
Hey, Nikki, it's Melissa. Can I just add one thing in here?
yeah,
I just wanted to say, you know, I think that to simplify the compensation plan and not get lost in the numbers, what we all need to just get really good at is populating QSCs and sales coordinators. And if you learn those 2 positions and you just duplicate that over and over and over again, that's the building blocks to the
Yeah.
whole thing. Right?
absolutely. But what I'm finding, Melissa, is that I would ask you, Kristen, now that you have a better understanding of the compensation plan, Kristen, does it give you more confidence?
It gives me more confidence. And as far as building a team, see, that's the thing that I've heard, like, just get sales coordinators and what do we call it? VFs. But you're like, well, how? Like, until you like understand that report and you kind of understand it's hard to remember like what I did, like, you know, it's hard to do that until you really go through and kind of understand that. And it is a little bit more of, I mean, it's where my confidence has really lacked, is like how everyone says that, just go. And you're like, just how, you know, that's.
And that is another step, Kristen. That is another step, the how. But Melissa, you're absolutely right. If you were to repeat, we had that flyer, the slide up earlier, wash, rinse, repeat. Find a QSC, teach them how to get their QSCs, and keep repeating that, your business will grow. But I really believe that the marketing plan is a place of confidence. And when you really start to understand it, it brings another tool of confidence. And I learned that really well, I think, from Cheryl Cortese, you know, who's always maintained and Wendy Campbell. Those, by the way, are the 2 top women earners in our company. We do need eventually to understand the marketing plan to help our people strategize and plan. Short summary is exactly what Melissa said. Absolutely, hands down. So I'm not going to go through, I think this is National Marketing Director. I'm not going to go there right now through that, but it is also 5 active team members instead of 8. You know, it was 3 QSCs and 2 SCs, and now it's back to the 5 that we used to have a couple of years ago. So they really have done some beautiful things to streamline the plan and make it easier for us. So I'm gonna just, this is kind of a little summary. We have lowered and phased in what the active team members are required to do for activity, 225 points, that's it. We've raised and phased in the maximum leg contribution. It used to be 50%, now they've raised it to 60%, which means we can use more of a person who's a runner underneath us. And the requirements for structures will change every 2 titles so that you have opportunity for growth without huge, big changes. Okay, we get to use excess PVC now. The timing for some of the requirements have changed, and title requirements for PB or POB lines can be QS. So if it says you need a PB leg, before it used to have to be a sales coordinator. In some cases, you can actually use a QSC. Okay, I'm going to stop there. Oh, again, for sales coordinator, it used to be 12,000. It's now 10,000. We've got the fast track in 90 days where you can get 700 instead of 600. For qualifying sales coordinator, you can express track in 30 days and get that extra $100. And finally, express track, do it in 10 days. And we have a lot of people that do that and get $100 instead of $50. And for the QSC and sales coordinator positions, the sponsor gets the same bonus. So Albert, when you sponsor your guy today and he gets to QSC in 30 days, he's going to get $400 and you're going to get $400 for helping him get there. So it really is a generous plan. I'm not going to go through the rest of this because there's just from and to, we don't need to go through all these. So I'm going to stop right there. We're going to see each other. First of all, is there anyone that just wishes they weren't on this call? I hope not. Don't raise your hand if that's how you feel. Because it's a hard call to be on with all of those numbers. But I think just giving you an inkling of some of the changes, you might even say, Nikki, don't have a clue of what you said. But what I did hear you say, it might be easier for me to get to QSSC now. Would you do a coaching strategy call with me? And then let's do that. And once you do the worksheet, it will shift things for you. So, and do you have any questions?
Yeah, I do. I just wanted to make sure that everybody knew that even if you'd restarted on the first month, if you brought in 2 brand new QSCs, you're making up some serious money if they do it in 30 days.
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about losing that extra $100 because you're going to get it by getting 2 QSCs.
And the cool thing on the restart, Alita, and I never thought of this, is if you're ready for a restart, you might have been doing the business for a while. You may know a lot more now than when you started. And then that extra bonus money is really going to kick in a way that it didn't kick in before because you actually know more now and you have more confidence now. So it may be a blessing in disguise. Leave it to Alita to find a blessing. Anybody else? All right, I'm going to put this on. I'm going to stop the recording.
Vicky, can I just share that for anyone that is not a numbers person, I am working on that really hard. And I can tell you, even now, I still get overwhelmed sometimes by the numbers. But when you trust, like Melissa says, when you trust in the process and you just really acknowledge that this is your business and we need to learn all of the skills to help the people that we're bringing along the way. I don't know. I just feel like that's where the cream is, that's where the pudding is, and that's where it all kind of comes together.
Yeah. And I just know that having that in front, it was really fun, Kristen, with you today to see where the possibilities were and what we had to offer those very specific people, besides you recruiting new people, but where could we go back and what could we show them that's possible that they didn't know was possible before. So that was really fun today to really take a look at the numbers and the people. I'm going to stop the recording.